Yes, people, what is going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. And Everton have beat the mighty Fleetwood 1-0 at Highbury tonight. A game that ebbed and flowed with real quality from start to finish. Oh, God. Let's be brutally honest. The game was dire, weren't it? It was really boring. You couldn't really get much worse. For 94 minutes, you'd probably argue Everton, although they dominated the game, I mean, there wasn't really much sign that Fleetwood would get a result. They had chances, and a couple of their players had put in good performances. So, yeah, we weren't brilliant tonight. We play neat and tidy football, and we've seen that all season. We play really nice, intricate football. Iwobi coming into the middle of the park really helps, and he played some fantastic 1-2s with Seamus Coleman, Damari Gray, Dwight McNeil. You know, he again for me, he was everywhere. He stood out to me tonight, and I don't think he was as good as he has been all season, but he was still good enough for me to probably say he was the best Everton player. He's literally constantly on the go, whether it be defensively, whether it be attacking. He's there, and he's really worked on his passing game. And look, Fleetwood Everton should be beaten, and it's no disrespect to Fleetwood. I'm not sitting here saying, you know, Fleetwood are an embarrassment or anything like that. They played really well tonight, and their winger, I can't remember his name. Was it Earl? He got a few decent efforts off. I think their right back, I think it was Lee Rooney or Luke Rooney, played really well, aggressive. It frustrated me a little bit because he gave a lot of Everton players a bit of jip for no reason. I don't like that, but I suppose he got into this game as much as he could, really. And, you know, if that involves putting a Premier League player's shirt back and, you know, putting one of those tackles in that you think, it's a bit of a cruncher, fair enough. You know, you expect it when you're playing teams that, you know, are wanting to ruffle up a Premier League team and wanting them to really try and stamp their authority on the game, knowing that they just haven't got the same quality. And he did that, and he played really well. I think he got their man of the match, hit the right back. I didn't like him very much, and I don't think many Evertonians will like him, but I admire the fact that he wasn't scared and he was prepared to be aggressive towards us. Damari Gray scores again. It's neat football. It's good football. Win the ball back from a terrible pass from them. Little pass to the left-hand side. Damari Gray's there, one step inside, finishes lovely, makes it 1-0 Everton. And there was other chances. Anana from a corner in the second half, ball comes up, he gets a flick on the header, and keeper has to push it over the bar. But Fleetwood also had chances. There was balls put into the box that Everton didn't defend very well. There was numerous times where, you know, you looked and you saw the spare man on the edge of the box for them, and the lad on the right hand side very occasionally cutting on his left foot, getting a shot off, Begovic making saves. So they weren't not in this game, and at 1-0 Everton could just couldn't shut it down. And this is going to be my worry, because what was abundantly obvious tonight is we were playing a League One side, a team that isn't fantastic, you know, and that's not me digging Fleetwood out then, but they're not a brilliant side. They've had a great, successful 10 years worth of history with 6 promotions in the last 10 years, and credit to them for that. But, you know, you'd expect Everton to go there and beat them. But actually, our attacking force did very little to do any of that. McNeil again, he did nothing. And bearing in mind, we signed Damari Gray for 1.5 million, and Damari Gray looks twice the player McNeil does. And I'm not even making any bones about it. He's quicker, he's more agile, he's got better footwork, and he might not have as well a delivery, but to be brutally honest, he makes up for it. and McNeil's really concerning me now, because I was hoping that we'd see a decent performance from McNeil, similar to what we did on his debut. Well, his non-competitive debut when he played Kiev. But actually, I didn't rate him at all. Rondon, I'm not going to sit here and beat around the bush. I have nothing against Rondon's work ethic. I have nothing against him personally. But you can see he's clearly not at the level that probably even Fleetwood were. I would argue that their striker caused more problems than Rondon did. He got in the channels a little bit. He got a few shots off, but they were nowhere near the goal. I'm not seeing enough from Rondon. I appreciate he's 33 or 34. I appreciate, he knows he's going to be second / third, fourth choice, depending on how many strikers we bring in, etc. But I expected again a performance against Fleetwood, and we didn't get it. And I actually think we looked really composed when we changed it a little bit and we brought Warrington on. And Warrington, I felt for composure of a footballer, he ticks every single box. Fantastic. He's a really good footballer. Like he has a brain. He has an understanding, and for such a young player, that is a real positive. Stan Mills come on as well. Again, it's great to see him get a few minutes. He wasn't brilliant, he didn't have to be, but he was where he needed to be. He was winning the ball back when he needed to be. He was aggressive when he needed to be. So again, fine. It was okay for Coleman to get 94 minutes and get plenty of game time since his operation in the summer. Fine, nothing against that. Tarkowski come on. Walsh was absolutely fantastic. I thought for the 60 minutes he was on the pitch before Tarkowski changed for him, I thought he was sound. I thought he was defensively solid. I thought he looked like a young lad who knew what he was doing. And we are gifted in that sense. That actually some of the older centre halves we have, let's be realistic, they're not great, and that's not me digging them out. But you've got Yuri Mina, who's got his injury records. You've got Michael Keane, who isn't the best. We all know that. So it's good to see that we've got Branthwaite and we've got the lad who's just gone to Blackburn, and I always forget his name, which is it's a real travesty because he's actually playing really well at Blackburn. Or is it Blackburn or is it Sheffield Wednesday? Oh, it's going to do my head in. But the young lad, the young centre half, so he's been fine. And then of course we've got these younger talented players like Reece Walsh who are coming into this side, and they're showing themselves, they're doing good, and that's real positives. It really is, from a youth perspective, good that we're seeing these young people getting minutes. Does it frustrate me that we haven't got an Eddie Sims and we haven't got a Dobbin in these sort of games? Yes, it does, and I'll make no bones about it. But it is where it is. We can't change that. And playing consistently in the Championship and League One, respectively, for both of those guys, yeah, I'm not against it. But tonight would have been a good game for either of them. Dobbin to play 45 minutes, Sims to play 45 minutes. You'd argue that they are both a class above Fleetwood. And again, I'm not digging out Fleetwood, but one's playing in the Championship, one's playing for Derby, who I suspect will probably finish above Fleetwood this season. So, when you look at that, there is the opportunities there. And the longer we stay in these competitions, the more opportunities they get. But look, I'm not against the loans or whatever. I understand. I wish we'd have waited till the end of the window to release those players. But that's that. Other things I want to talk about, and I'm going to do a video on this tomorrow, so I'm not going to go too in depth on it. But Chelsea have offered Everton 60 million, which is 50 plus 10. Everton are looking for ways of restructuring the deal, apparently. So they're looking either at more money up front, the £10 million in add-ons to be a little bit more easier to get. I think Everton should take the money and run at this point, because I like Gordon, and I have never at any point sat here and said I want to sell him. But it's getting into silly money territory for a player that is still very, he's very raw. He's very raw. There's no doubt he's a good player. There's no doubt that he's got plenty of potential. He's got pace to burn. He can beat people. But, he sat on the bench tonight and didn't get cup tied, and for 60 million, I just think that the sooner the deal is done, the sooner we can spend this money. And it might be a case of Everton aren't coming out and accepting that the deal's done because it looks to other clubs that Everton have got loads of money all of a sudden, whereas we want them to think that we haven't got loads of money and we're struggling. I don't know what reason is, but I just think if he's going to go, he's going to go, and I think it's making it abundantly obvious. The frustrating thing is we go into a game at the weekend against Brentford and we still haven't got that striker. We still haven't got that creative number 10, and we've been linked with various players, including Trossard. But they're not happening. We've more talks with Idrissa Gana Gueye. Obviously, he's going to come in at 6. But again, it's almost like, are we really, because of how fantastic Iwobi's been, obviously we need players. We know we need players, but it doesn't worry me as much getting Garner in this week. It worries me going and getting a striker. Everton have been linked with several now, Ivor Toney, lads from Valencia, and again, I'll do videos on this, but there is a lot of work that needs to be done for Everton, and I don't think we can afford to go against Brentford and lose potentially, and the derby, and then, all the other teams, Man United and stuff coming up, whatever. I don't think we can afford to be going into these games winless, because if we do, after 7 or 8 games, Everton could be planted rock bottom of the Premier League with no wins, and, with a striker that's got to adjust, and all of a sudden that striker would come in for 20, 25 million. It's got absolutely bags of pressure on them to score enough goals to keep us in the Premier League. So it needs to be done this week. I'm not bothered about this whole deadline drama and all of that. I want it done this week. I want it done ASAP. And we will see. But look, all in all, positive. We're through to the 3rd round. We got the job done when we needed to. There was enough experience in that side, with a little bit of youth, a little bit of creativity, and Fleetwood just in the end didn't have an answer. But fair play to them. They played really well, and you can't begrudge them of that. Guys, leaving it there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep smiling. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you tomorrow for another video. And then on Thursday, we've got match preview for Brentford. Peace.